والليل إذا يغشاها والليل إذا يغشاها والشمس إذا يغشاها والشمس وضحاها والنهار إذا جلاها.
الله.
والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها.
الله. أحسنت.
والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها.
الله.
قد أفلح من زكاها قد أفلح خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم ولا يخاف عقباها. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أحسنت ما شاء الله. A million times. Thank you so much, Brother Mustafa. I have a request, because we can't get enough of your beautiful voice. Can you read us the dua? Yeah, I have a request, Ali Muhammad.
No problem.
We can't get enough of your beautiful voice. Thank you so much, Brother Mustafa. The dua? Yeah, I have a request, Ali Muhammad.
يا علي يا عظيم يا غفور يا رحيم يا علي يا عظيم يا غفور يا رحيم أنت الرب العظيم الذي ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير. وهذا شهر عظمته وكرمته وشرفته وفضلته على شهور وهو الشهر الذي فرضت صيامه عليه وهو شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان وجعلت فيه ليلة من 1000 شهر فيا ذا المن ولا يمن عليه من علي بفكاك رقبتي من النار في من تمن علي وأدخلني الجنة وأدخلني الجنة برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أحسنت. If that's not gonna get hearts from you guys, then I don't know what will. So I want to see all the hearts.
يلا
Thanks,
حبيبي.
brother Mustafa. Thank you so much, Habibi. Inshallah, we'll see you very soon. Thank you.
Inshallah.
Thank you a million times, Habibi. Allah. Ahsant. That was beautiful. Okay. I need to see the hearts coming in for brother Mustafa because that was amazing. Inshallah, without further ado, he doesn't really need a biography, but we will move on, I guess, to the next section of the program. We have Sayyid Muhammad, Samahat Sayyid Muhammad Hassan al-Sheraa. He's a great friend of mine. He has come to Vancouver before, so most of you should be familiar with him. He lives in Dearborn, Michigan, or in Michigan at least. And yeah, we're going to be talking about the Crescent debate. So that's the topic of today's program. Every Ramadan, we arise with this issue. Is it Ramadan on Friday? Is it Ramadan on Saturday? We're always confused. What's happening? What's going on? Do people know what's going on? Are we sure? What is the issue? So we're going to be talking about everything and try to cover all aspects of this issue with the one and only Sayyid Muhammad Hassan, inshallah. If I could find his name on here. Yes, I do. And yeah, so I'll bring him on, and inshallah we'll start with our talk.
Assalamu alaikum wa
rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Ramadan Kareem.
How are you? تقبل أعمالكم. Ramadan Mubarak علينا وعليكم. Did I surprise you? Did you expect you were like looking away? And then
yeah, I'm surprised you're here. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, my honor. Thank you for having me. And thank you to Mullah Mustafa. Mustafa? Mullah Mustafa for that beautiful recitation of the Dua Ya Ali Ya Azim and the recitation of the Quran. طيب الله أنفاسكم جميعا وتقبل الله أعمالكم منا.
Thank you so much for you. I know it's late, 1 a.m. I'm very sorry to keep you up this late.
It's okay. It's okay. This is practicing for suhoor and waking up for suhoor, so it's all good for me.
Thank you so much. We're so grateful for you.
My pleasure.
So yeah, Sayyidina, on these days, what's the fuss all about? What are people talking about when we're talking about the moon sighting and when the month starts? And why does it always arise during Ramadan? We never talk about the crescent of Muharram. We never talk about any of these other things. It doesn't come up. But in Ramadan, it usually does. So
yeah. The month of Ramadan, of course, being arguably the most significant month within the Islamic calendar, a month that is paramount to our religion, reinstills, rejuvenates our faith with Allah, especially in times such as these. We really need that rejuvenation. And in contrast to other months of the year, that significance on identifying the start of the month versus the end of the month is not that clear until Ramadan comes, due to its significance of being Laylatul Qadr within it, being the times in which we have the significant events, the birth of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And another thing, it's the obligatory act of fasting now. We don't have to fast throughout the year, only in this month. And so this is part of our wajibat. We have to adhere to it. And so there's this great debate. Many people describe wars, the moon sighting wars. And some equate it to World War III. It happens every single year during Ramadan. Nah, I wouldn't call it wars. In fact, we shouldn't call it wars. And we shouldn't even call it a feud. Many people over-exaggerate and magnify the extent of, yes, differences of opinion with regards to how people understand how the moon is formed and how we witness it. Yeah. But it shouldn't be equated to moon wars or moon sighting wars. No, ultimately, it's just a person's opinion that they've reached a conclusion on to the other opinion that you think resonates with you. So I believe it's been over-exaggerated, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Okay, for the sake of today's debate, I'm going to be playing devil's advocate. So this doesn't represent my opinion, but I'm going to be a little extreme with you, just so then you can shut down this argument, okay? It's going to make it a little easier. So I'm going to try my best to exaggerate it, or at least give an argument, so then we can see what's happening. So I just want to know why our scholars have such different opinions. Like, what's going on in that aspect? Aren't they studying the same religion in this case only? And why is everyone different on this issue?
The religion is which it breaks down to multiple categories that we all understand as being Islam, Ahlul Bayt. Various opinions can arise, similar to how the field of medicine is one big ideology, but you have various opinions that might rise. For example, a doctor might diagnose someone who's dealing with, say, essential tremor, involuntary hand movements or whatever, due to some incident in their past, and they might give them, hey, cannabis would be very good for you. Another doctor say, well, that's not good for you because the risks of being addicted to that are much high. And so these are two experts who have reached different conclusions of interpretation that many people have understood to be different. The ayah of the Holy Quran that describes this whole entire concept, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم. So Allah could have made it so much easier and said, and whoever saw the new moon, the crescent moon, then that is the time in which fasting becomes obligatory upon us. But he said, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْ. And whomever witnesses the month. Can you witness a month, Mehdi, Habibi? It's euphemistic. Yeah, so it's from the doors of euphemism. Euphemistically, we understand month being the moon. And so whoever sees the moon has to now fast. All right, do we see the new moon when it's born, or do we have to see the crescent? The ahadith of the Imams of Ahlul Bayt, as the Holy Prophet says, you begin fasting when you see it. Can I see it using a telescope? Because that wasn't made clear at first. Do I have to see it with the eye, or can I rely on astrophysics and the study of space and whatnot to understand with calculation that now it's been born? I don't have to see it, but now the new moon is born. And so this is the difference of opinion, and this is all categorized in the field of ijtihad. At the end of the day, we began it with, you're not obligated to take every which opinion. These are matters that people refer to the experts with, and they has not been a reality for more than 30 years. Only when a different interpretation of how one identifies the new moon entered from the likes of various maraji' who have introduced unique methodologies, but 30 years prior, this was not a phenomenon. The mainstream ulama were all under consensus that, look, if you see it, that's it. Don't tell me if you look through a system and you calculate it, it's born. But I didn't see it. But Islam's an ever-progressive the feud behind this. But let me just let you know and make it clear, 30 years ago, this was not a phenomenon. And before that, it was not an issue. Oh, why do they have differences of opinion? The majority of our ulama stayed on one opinion. It's just recently, contemporarily, a vast majority of our ulama are in line and in unison. It's the odd opinion that comes to play and is magnified, basically. And then that is like the center of our problems for some reason. Come on, man, it shouldn't be the center of our problems. Respect everyone's opinion. You're not obligated to follow it, and that's it.
And we could even argue that in the last 30 years, pollution has been a reason why we can't even see the moon with the naked eye. That could be something that...
Exactly. And this is where the beauty of differences of opinions come to play, Mahdi. That people look, Islam progresses. Rasulullah should not just should have, Rasulullah knew that we were going to reach these issues. So he made it very easy. He said, look, there's going to be interpretation. For the longest time, it's been one interpretation. Only recently, people have differed. And however, now it seems like we're going back to the same consensus of methodology. But I could briefly explain the various methodologies. One of these opinions is that if you find it in your region, if you witness the hidayah and you have clarification within a 800-mile radius, there are specifications given. Everyone within that region is now obligated to begin fasting. Another view is that if the hilal is found in a continent that was around in the sense of well-known during the time of continent, say like North or South America, it's not obligated upon us to fast it because that continent wasn't clear during the time of the Ma'sumin. Another opinion is it's the same one, 800-mile radius, but you could use a magnifying equipment, not necessarily a telescope, but something that like binoculars, for example. So these are the various opinions, but they all go back to the same thing. I have to see it. It's the odd opinion of, no, you don't have to see it. You could just rely on science now. And that's how it goes, which gives us a 16, 17-hour difference. And that's how it is. But ultimately, it's a respectable opinion. Shouldn't be the cause for disunity and war and so on.
Obviously. May Allah bless our scholars and ulama who figure out this. So I have another question. I want to see like these different start days. So now we've agreed that there is a mainstream opinion, but then there are sometimes it comes up that we are starting on different days. And one can argue that this can cause a lack of unity, maybe because Laylatul Qadr is on a different day than others. So one mosque or one group of people will do their Laylatul Qadr on one day, and then the other half of the mosque will do it on the next day. How do we address this lack, or will it cause lack of unity? Should we allow it to affect us? And if it does, how do we address this type of differences?
One thing that is always important to keep in mind with recognizing that there are going to be a few disputes here and there is that throughout the entire month, there is no dispute, only in selected days. So for the majority of the time, we're disunited. No, but it does rest heavy on us when we notice that there are many people who are upholding their mustahabbat during a day that I have yet entered because of this difference of opinion matter. Ultimately, what's being done? What is being done is between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are still totally allowed to recite Dua Raf al-Masahif. No one's going to stop you if you recite it on the 18th, despite not the 19th, or the 24th instead of the 23rd. No one's going to prevent you. Dua Raf al-Masahif, Dua Joshan. Is it not recommended to recite dua every single day? These particular supplications are even recommended to be recited outside of Ramadan. It's we just close them when Ramadan finishes, and then we say, welcome back when Ramadan comes. No, recite it as many times as you can. And so, yes, but the emphasis is given on particular nights, but that's only because these are wonderful acts to engage in. However, they're still wonderful even outside of that time period. So it's not a matter of great disunity. It's just a matter of today we have this emphasis. Maybe tomorrow you'll have your emphasis on that day based on this. Wasn't a reality 30 years ago. Only when differences of opinions came with recognizing the moon did this sort of shift happen. But this shift is not a reason for disunity at all. Bilakis. And the whole entire month we're all united with fasting, are we not? And worship, are we not? And dua, are we not? But in just the days of emphasis, you can, what's better than emphasizing worship and dua on all of these days? Why only that one day? If you're truly upright with the dua, recite it the day before, the day of, and the day after. What's holding us back with that regard? And so again, over-exaggerated and magnified issues that truly have been given more than enough spotlight than they deserve. So I believe, if anything, there is more unity in that regard. More unity, understanding, for the most part, we're all united in this. And this is basically between me and my Lord, how I want to worship, when I want to worship, and that's it.
Hassan, beautifully said. I think just going over that unity, just like repeating, or like another argument that could come up is that we look at the Sunni school of thought, or Sunni brothers and sisters, and usually politically Saudi Arabia will declare the day of Ramadan, and that's what usually most countries will follow in terms of the Sunni school of thought. So then we look at that and we say, okay, they're all united, they all have it figured out, you know, all their scholars believe in one thing. What do you have to say about that?
That's not necessarily true, to be quite fair, because Al-Azhar is a very prominent institution that also has its own respected methodology, in contrast to the Saudi Wahhabi elites that also have their methodology. And so there are various boards and institutions that have their own conclusions with that regard. And ultimately, the comparison between the school of Ahlul Bayt versus the school of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah with regards to sighting the moon and whatnot, you would become very much contingent with an authoritative domination. If a country announces, who cares if the country announced? I need to know if religiously I'm obligated. If the state officials have announced, yeah, but I'm not bound on the state officials. We are bound with Islam, particularly Islam Ahlul Bayt, who came and gave us these methodologies. You see it, you fast. If you have witnesses, even better. So on and so forth. And so there are nuanced differences between our respected Sunni brothers and sisters as well. But for the most part, it's because if you focus on the theological ways of Al-Azhar, tomorrow's Ramadan, okay, that's a good portion of the Sunni world in that case. Or the Gulf countries. Saudi Arabia has announced all of Saudi is going to be in fasting. So with that bulk of influx of people fasting and agreeing, it does give that very good impression everyone is united. But you don't have that same system with Islam Ahlul Bayt. This country, all of you, but if it's only this part of the country where the Hilal was made visible, that part, the earth has yet to have rotated to that region yet. So how can you say, because if it's let's say a very wide country, how could you say for them it's Ramadan? That the truth with understanding and realizing our religious obligations come with Ahlul Bayt alayhum assalam and their recommendations, not a dominant authoritative state of some sort or anything like that. So it does give you that impression, but that's just because one whole country has now agreed due to the decisions of their elite. But still, at the same time, this discussion on unity and disunity, if it's just 16-hour shift and then that's the end of the world, then we have bigger issues to deal with and focus on.
Excellent. I wanted to ask you about, so is it possible to be optimistic about a day where all our maraji will have a single ruling? Is it something
30 years prior? And before then, for the longest time, it was a really big reality. So definitely, for the longest time, it's only now that we find, because of fringe, as we mentioned, opinions that we respect as well, but we might disagree. And we do see this difference of opinion and different days occurring. Otherwise, that's definitely a realistic reality at the same time. Why not?
Accent. About this, is there do they say we want to agree? Is there a dialogue between the scholars saying that maybe we should make it sit down and debate our points and see a common ground that makes sense, or is that not something that needs to happen?
No, of course, this is definitely a reality between our respected ulama, in that they combine multiple heads are better than one, of course. And so there are various consultations with other ulama as well as other experts of astrophysics, experts at moon sighting and calculating and whatnot. But that is a reality. And at the same time, there's also a reality with, why don't we all just agree, determine that reality? Then they will not sacrifice what they truly believe to be the actual way in which they recognize how the hilal comes and how the hilal ends. So, but it all has to do with a witness case in which people have recognized that we've seen the hilal, we bring it to your attention, the marja then the next day announces. However, if the marja himself has yaqeen, and this concept is called hukm al-hakim, if the marja himself has total confidence that tomorrow is going to be the start of the new moon or the start of the next month, all the maraj a mistake, because you have yaqeen at that point. And so then they will follow him. This has happened a few times, whereby the marja himself has had such yaqeen that he makes a hukum, not a fatwa, not just an announcement, based on the news of certain individuals, shahidan, adilan, two reliable, just individuals. We have now determined the next day. Now I have full confidence tomorrow's Ramadan. Then that means the ulama will then follow suit, because that marja is definitely not a non-adil. They're not unjust. They're not going to misuse this for their own personal agenda. They will follow them. This is called hukm al-hakim. So they have came in consensus a few times before, but it's not that common. However, they do consult. They do get a better conclusion for the whole Muslim ummah altogether. Yeah.
Hassan. And inshallah, when Imam Mahdi Ajallah Ta'ala Farajah Sharif reappears, inshallah it's this month. If we're lucky enough, inshallah it's in this month. But what happens then?
Inshallah, with the beginning of the month of Ramadan, we pray it is the end of the coronavirus as well. And also, more than that, we pray that it's the end of the corona, beginning of Ramadan, and the beginning of the mission of Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman. When Imam Mahdi comes back, when Imam Mahdi is made public now, coming back is a very interesting term. I try not to use it, because the Imam is present. He is here. He is around. The reason why we are alive as a Shia populace is due to his presence. From the amount of genocide we've received, so he is around. But when he is made publicly accessible, يسقط التقليد. There will be no more emulation of ulama, because he is now the hakim al-shar'i, designated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that would mean that this new moon, as many people will call it, moon sighting wars, will come to an end, inshallah ta'ala. But he will then utilize this for that purpose of unity. Tomorrow, every Muslim is going to fast. Tomorrow is going to be the end, meaning Eid now. And so it's going to be up to him, inshallah. Yep, we will all be following him. He will be our marja taqlid.
Inshallah. We look forward to that day more than anything, because that would be amazing. Who else wouldn't want to be together, inshallah? I'm going to give some time if anyone has any extra questions. But other than that, I think we've covered almost everything that we have to cover. Sayyidina, did you have anything else to add in terms of the moon sighting?
For the moon sighting, the summary of this discussion is that we need to close that chapter, truly. There are bigger issues that need to be addressed and assessed. Every single year, with the beginning of the month of Ramadan, there's always going to be that difference of opinion there. However, that should not lead to discord and disunity. Of all things you're going to argue about, in reality, it's a 16-hour difference, pretty much. But 16 hours is a lot. I understand that. However, it shouldn't be the reason why we break bonds. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرِّقُوا. Except when you see a different mood. No, come on. We should all stay together and not begin it with, hey, we're going to disagree, and now this is going to be the end of us. If you just read some comments, like on the announcements that we might find online, tomorrow's Ramadan, but then I don't believe that, and how did you guys come up with that, and how did you come with that conclusion? Why are we bickering over these petty things? And Rasulullah has a beautiful hadith in which he says, do not bicker about pathetic stuff. ذَرُوا الْمِرَاءَ فَإِنَّ الْمُمَارِ لَا أَشْفَعُ لَهُ يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ. Do not bicker about anything, for the one who bickers about something that is pathetic and not significant, I will not intercede for them. Is there anything more pathetic than discord with a factor at all? If anything, we should be united, we should ask more questions, and we should all form a basic connection with one another with that regard. That's beautiful, difference of opinion. Why not? Why is that a bad thing? Let's just move on with it. We have better things to approach and assess.
Hassan, thank you so much, Sayyidina, for your time, for your beautiful, beautiful discussion and answers. I think we covered everything really well. You hit the nail perfectly on that one. And inshallah, I'll talk to you very, very soon. And you have a very blessed month of Ramadan.
Inshallah.
It was an honor having you once again. And we'll talk very soon, Habibi, Sayyidina.
My honor as well. Thank you for having me. Are we good on time, by the way? What time? How much more do we have?
We have, one second. What does it say?
A live stream with my dear brother Mustafa Safar on Insta Ahlul Bayt.
Yeah.
And in the middle of a point, and because we spent too much time, I think it's an hour only, it cut us off completely.
Yeah. It always does that. It's really
yeah. So I always have to reevaluate. Are we good on time? Are we not good on time?
Yeah.
But I'd like to send my congratulations while we're here to all of my wonderful Muslim Youth in Motion brothers and sisters back in Vancouver. Particularly, of course, yourself and Yasser and brother Moahmmed, Samak, Hassan. Hassan's an OG, man. He picked me up and he was the one who dropped me off. That guy, I think he skipped school just to hang out with me. It's too much.
Yeah, he slept in a couple times too.
La, we forgive you now. Don't worry about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this a blessed month in which we deafen our vows and get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakum Allah alif khair. Thank you for having us on. May Allah bless you. And
inshallah, we'll have you in Vancouver very soon too. Inshallah, we'll have you in Vancouver.
No, inshallah, we'll have you in Dearborn.
Inshallah, pray for us.
Yeah.
Habibi.
Yeah, no, definitely. So hopefully we summarized everything with regards to these moon sighting issues and whatnot.
Yeah.
Inshallah ta'ala. Because enough is enough, really.
Yeah, seriously. Can he explain imsak? Brother Ali Samak asks, can you explain imsak?
Imsak, pretty much as the word entails, wahid yimsik, meaning hold on to themselves, in the sense of hold on, don't eat anymore. And so there's this period that is high food because you might have more food in you. Maybe you still will continue eating. 10-minute gap, 10-minute period pre-Salatul Fajr, in which people have called that imsak. Imsak nafsak, la ta'kul. So during that period, don't eat anymore. Why? Out of precaution. So people give it 10 minutes. People say, just a minute, doesn't matter. So long as there's a time where you completely stopped, no more consumption, no more water. So that overall is what imsak is. Just pre-Fajr, so long as you... No, it's not mandatory. No, it's not mandatory. Imagine if you're eating a minute right before Fajr starts. It's pretty risky. So there's a lot of emphasis on holding back. Imsak nafsak, la ta'kul, pretty much. Not mandatory.
Thank you so much. If you have any more questions, guys, feel free to ask. But if there's nothing else, then we can wrap it up. We do have a quiz after. I don't know, Sayyid, if you want to stay for the quiz. It's just a simple... Actually, I guess we want to bring people on to make them answer. So
Okay. I can leave.
No,
You
that's
don't
not
want me
what I
here
said.
anymore. Inshallah.
Thank you so much for coming on. I know it is
Habibi,
actually really late,
likewise.
so I can't be more thankful for you, Habibi. And once again, inshallah, we'll see you very soon, and wherever that is, in
Inshallah.
Vancouver, Dearborn, or on Instagram Live.
Thank you. Inshallah ta'ala. May Allah bless you as well. Thank you all for having us. Thank you for this pleasure. And Ramadan Mubarak
Thank you
to
so
everyone.
much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. تصبح على خير.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
مع السلامة.
في أمان الله.
Okay, thank you so much to Sayyid Muhammad Hassan. Now we come to the quiz portion of the program. So, Sayyid Hassan, my little brother. So inshallah we'll ask that later. But we have a trivia. So the best way to do this trivia, I think, is to guest people on. So I think whoever would like to get on, you have a chance to win a prize. And I'll ask you a couple questions, and inshallah, you will get that prize. You don't have to get all the answers right, so there's no pressure. It's just for the fun of it. So whoever would like to join for the trivia, let's do that. Whoever would like to join, we'll just guess them on the app. If no one wants to guess, then I'll just do the normal quizzing method, where we just ask it and people can comment. But it would be a lot cooler if someone could join. Ahmad, I think you should come on. But yeah, so we'll just wait and see what happens if anyone wants to join. If not, I will ask a question. Okay, I guess no one wants to join, which is fine. So I'm going to ask question number 1. Brother Ubaid, you don't want to join? Okay, question. There's just going to be religious trivia questions. They won't be too hard. Okay, I'll just ask question number 1, and then if anyone wants to join, we'll do that later. So which fruit in earth has one seed from heaven in it guaranteed? So there's a fruit that we have a hadith. There's some hadith about it that has one seed. If I got it right away, there's no competition, it seems like today. Everyone's asleep. Brother Mustafa got the answer. It is the pomegranate. Good job on that one. So yes, we have a hadith that the fruit pomegranate has one seed in it that is we're starting off with the easy questions. So you guys have to, the questions are going to get harder as we go up. So Brother Mustafa got that one. This one's a little tougher, but it's not too tough. Which surah is the heart of the Holy Quran? This guy said apple. Which surah is the heart of the Holy Quran? So there's a surah that is known to be the heart of the Holy Quran. It shouldn't be too hard as well. You hear it a lot. It's a beautiful, beautiful surah. Okay, Sayyid Mahdi gets that one as well. It's Surah Yasin. The surah that is the heart of the Holy Quran. I know Ubaid is going to be mad about that one, but he was second. I need you guys to be faster, or someone can get on the live. But inshallah, I think for me it showed up as Brother Mahdi Qazwini getting it first. How many rak'at does a true believer do a day? How many rak'at does a true believer do a day? So how many rak'ats do we pray a day? Wait, this one is a little scared, but I guess answer it and then we'll. A true believer, I'm going to put emphasis on this. I think we might, I don't know if I can award that to Ali because I didn't ask it correctly. But what I meant by the salah is that how many can we actually pray? Not just a true believer, because inshallah we all get a chance to pray 51 rak'ahs a day, but there are a lot of extras like Salatul Layl, like Salatul Ghufayla, like the 2 rak'ahs before Salatul Fajr. All these salahs are what are counted in 51. So Brother Ali got that one, but I don't know if I'll count it because I didn't ask it. I didn't ask it correctly. I guess I'll give it to him. He gets it because that was a hard question and he got it anyways. Great job on that one. Yes, the answer is 51. Okay, let me ask a hard one. How many times is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim mentioned in the Holy Quran? Now, there's a hint that in one of the surahs, it's not mentioned. It's not. So, how many times is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim? Wrong and wrong. Let's see if anyone's going to get it right. And Zainab Aziz gets it right. Aliyah got that one right. It is 114 times. We do have 114 surahs. So there is one surah that doesn't have it. I hope you guys know it's Surah At-Tawbah. There's one surah that has it twice. So my next question is, which surah has Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim twice? Which surah is the one that compensates for Surah At-Tawbah? We still have 114, even though one surah does not have it, but another one has it twice. So please tell me. And Brother Ali is on a roll today. Ahsant. It is Surah An-Naml, and Brother Ali Samak gets that one. Great job on that. Let's see, what else should I ask? I want someone to come live. So we're going to ask some rapid fire questions. If someone, I also want to give credit. There's a sister that actually sent these questions. Very helpful. Sister Fatima Yusuf. I don't know if she's in this live. She sent these trivia questions, which makes it so much easier because they're really good questions. And thanks to her because she compiled all those questions and helped us out as a good deed from her. Let's see, what else should I ask you guys? I think it should be Ali Samak. Ali Samak, do you want to come live or are you busy? One of you guys should go on live. How do I request you to join? I'll request you right now. I don't know the answers. Mohammed, it's for the fun of it, bro. You don't have to get the answers right. It's fine if you don't get the answers right. You know, we're doing it for the game. Decides to come in. But other than that, it's connecting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello.
سلام حبيبي شلونك؟ How are you? رمضان كريم كل عام وانت بخير أسعد الله أيامك.
The hair's coming back.
Thank you. Yeah, it's slowly growing back. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this. How come nobody's jumping on?
Man. These guys I guess people are tired because of the thought or something. There has to be something going.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready?
I see that.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to shoot them at
you. He's thinking about somebody else.
Yeah. Okay.
Thinking of Jawad.
Timer, but I guess I'll just ask you like 5 questions and we'll try to do them as fast as possible, okay? Okay.
Go.
Which Imam is known as Gharib?
غريب الغرباء إمام الكاظم.
Try again.
إمام الرضا.
Name 3 mustahab things in Salat.
قنوت. And
before Salah you do something.
أذان إقامة أو مستحب.
Just name me 2. If you can name me 2 women of paradise, the woman of paradise. 2 out of the 4.
السيدة خديجة. فاطمة الزهراء.
That was
Alayhum
3. Okay,
assalam.
what was the name of the child that got killed in Sayyidah Zahra's tragedy? The child
The who,
that got
sorry?
killed in Fatima Zahra's tragedy. What is the name of the city that the Prophet is buried in? I want the current city and the city it used to be called before, the old name.
Yathrib and
Ahsant.
Al-Medina.
Okay, last question. I'm going to give you a hard one. Okay. Let's see where. These are way too hard. How many levels of heaven are there, and what are their names?
Go easy
How
on
many
your
levels of
president.
heaven are there, and what are their names in the Quran? Give me how many there are, and then if you can name at least like 2 or 3.
The level. I believe there's 7 levels.
In the Quran. Madhkura bil Quran, there's 8. Can you name like 2
Okay,
or
there's
3?
8.
They're not easy, so I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna ask for a lifeline.
How do you want me to help you out here, or do you want Ahmed Ahmad?
I want Ahmed Imad to help me out.
So there's 8 levels. I don't know how to explain. Like I'd love to give you a hint, but it's hard because it's without saying the name. One of them is.
It's okay. I got this one wrong.
So one of them is
give me
Jannat
the
al-Ma'wa, one of them is Tawba, Dar al-Maqam, Dar al-Qarar, Jannat al-Adn, Jannat al-Na'im, Dar al-Salam, and al-Firdaus. So Jannat al-Firdaus is the highest level of heaven.
right.
That was a really hard question. Anyways, 5 questions. You got 4 out of 5. That was a really good job, Brother Mohammed. Thank you. Someone else? He says you're on your.
You're very welcome. You're on your own. Of course. I was being sarcastic that you would ever be my lifeline today.
You're not deciding to come.
Firdaus, La'la, Al-Maqam, Al-Mahmud. Nice.
So, thank you so much, Brother Mohammed. I think I'll wrap up the program now. Can you read us Dua Faraj actually to end the program? Is that cool? Please.
Sure, I can do that. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصل.
Thank you so much, Brother Mohammed. We'll see you very soon. Habibi.
You're very welcome. Inshallah. We'll see everyone next week.
Other than that, thank you to Brother Mohammed for participating. I want to wrap up with a couple things. Just a reminder that every Monday we're going to be having programs with Sheikh Khalid. So please stay tuned on social media for that. Every Wednesday we're going to have a cooking competition, which is going to be very fun. And on Fridays we're going to have these normal programs. We are testing the timings. So please, if you guys like a better timing, I know this was pretty quick. Time flies when we're starting to eat, so we have to pray and eat. I know that it is a weird timing for sure. So please let us know what timing you prefer, earlier, later, before Salah, after Salah. We're trying our best to accommodate so people can listen to the lectures that are being offered, and at the same time come into the live and have fun while they're snacking or whatever. They have their chai after futur, because I know. Other than that, we are also every day we are posting the imsak on our social media. So if you'd like the times for Salat al-Maghrib, for Salat al-Fajr, for the imsak, inshallah, that'll be every day on our social media. You're going to see it every night. So on all our platforms, Facebook, Instagram, etc., and our website, I believe. So stay tuned for that. And please, if you have any ideas for programs in Ramadan, where we have a lot of things we're trying to plan, we need some help, of course. We need so please